Hi everyone, welcome to my new YouTube channel, Ehab Sells San Diego. I'm Ehab. I'm a realtor with Compass here in downtown San Diego, and as you can tell by today, I am clearly working from home, as I'm sure many of you are. So I hope all of you are staying safe and healthy, and that all your loved ones are doing okay as well. So with that, the whole purpose of this channel is to continue keeping all of my clients and friends and future clients and everyone else out there just updated. I get a lot of questions all the time about what's happening in the market, what's happening in San Diego, what's happening in real estate. So this is a good chance for us to kind of stay in touch and talk about everything that's going on. So hopefully you'll enjoy it and find it informative. So what I really want to talk about today, because of all the volatility we're seeing in the headlines and the stock market and the coronavirus and all that craziness, just want to talk about what is happening with the San Diego market today, how it's been impacted, and what you can expect, and kind of talk about where I think it's going to go, and we'll see where it goes. So one caveat is this is all based on information that I had from last week, so it's fairly up to date, but as I'm sure you can see, a lot's been happening in the last week, so stay tuned to this channel. I'll be keeping you guys up to date from here on out, okay? So with that, what we're seeing right now, real estate, like any market, is driven by supply and demand. That's ultimately what's going to determine where price goes, what's happening with the market, how stable it is. Right now, demand has been very, very strong. So up until beginning of March, we saw about a 10 to 15% increase in demand over last year. And the reason for that is because mortgage rates have been coming down. As a matter of fact, since March 1st to March 10th, we actually saw an additional 4% increase in the demand in San Diego. And that's clearly driven from the fact that mortgage rates are down to almost low threes, 3 to 3.25. That's near historic rates. Last year, the mortgage rates were about 4.4. What does that mean? Basically, your money goes further, right? So if you're looking, let's say you were looking at a $750,000 house and you bought it last year at the 4.4. Your average monthly payment, not including taxes and home insurance, you're talking about $3,800 a month, right? That same house today with the current mortgage rates is going to cost you about $3,200 to $3,300 a month. That's more than $500 a month that goes back into your pocket, or $6,000 over the course of the year. All right, that's a lot. That's a lot. What can you do with an extra $6,000 a year? Just think about that. So because it's so much more cost effective, people are going out in record numbers and ready to purchase a home. We're seeing an increase both in purchasing, and if you bought a house last year, you're seeing an increase in refinancing to bring those payments down. So it's more affordable. That's great news if you're a buyer. It's a great time to go in. All right. So, but as demand goes up, we also have to take a look at the supply side, see what the inventory looks like. Right now, we have about 4,500 homes in the market in all of San Diego County. Compared to last year, we had close to 7,000 last year. All right, we're down over 30%. So demand is up, supply is down. That is putting a lot of pressure on the market, and it means it's a very, very strong seller's market. San Diego is being classified as the hottest seller's market in Southern California and pretty much across the country. So on that side, if you're a seller, it's a great time to sell because you have no competition. There's very few homes out there. Buyers are tripping over themselves to find a new home, and they're bidding up the price to do that. You're seeing a lot more bidding wars, a lot more multiple offer situations. And so as a result, we're seeing prices actually increase in San Diego. Year to date, we're actually up about 8%. The median home price is now about $600,000. For a single family house, it's about $677,000. For a condo, you're about $450,000. That's the median. So 50% are above, 50% are below. Where we're seeing competition, it is going to vary by price point. But anything 1.5 million and under is considered highly competitive, with the real crux of the competition falling in the price point 750,000 and below. That's where 50% of the inventory is, but it's where 72% of the demand is. So that's a very, very competitive market, very competitive segment of the market. That said, again, there's still good news on both sides. average time on the market is about 33 days, so you're gonna sell it pretty quick. If you're a buyer though, while it may seem a little concerning that the prices are going up, there's competition, if you think of it this way, because your dollar goes about 20% further than it did last year because of the reduction in mortgage rates, a house that would have cost you that, let's say if you were going for a $700,000 house last year and now it's priced at $750,000, your monthly payment is actually going to be lower now at the $750,000 than if you bought that house at a higher interest rate at $700,000. So don't get caught up in the how much the prices went up. Look at it holistically and look at how much is your monthly payment going to be. And that's where this is one of those unique opportunities where it's advantageous for both sellers and buyers to go into the market. So that's great news for all fronts. Now, what's also been interesting is when you look at what's been happening since March 1st, where we started to see the stock market volatility and the news of the coronavirus, etc., we've actually seen a 4% increase in demand for homes in San Diego. The mortgage rates is really continuing to drive it. So even though some people might be getting cautious and getting off the fence, more people are going in to actually purchase to take advantage of the cost. So now, that was a week ago. That's the most recent update. A lot's happened in the last week, so we will continue to watch this and monitor and keep you updated. But that's where we are today. One of the most common questions I'm getting is, are we headed towards a bubble? Is there going to be a crash? So again, just to put everybody in a full, get the full picture and put everything in perspective, when the market went down in 2008, we had 15,000 homes on the market. Demand was actually comparable to what it is today. So again, you're going from 15,000 homes down to 4,500 homes. So it wasn't a question of, right now, we just don't have the inventory, and that's actually helping buffer the market and stabilize the market against, any possible recession risk that's coming in. 10 years ago, it was a very different story. We were flooded with inventory that when the market kind of shook itself apart, there was no place to support it, and that's where you saw the tumble in prices. We're not in that situation right now, so it's much more stable. Actually, if anything, we actually need more inventory in the market to fully stabilize and make it more of a balanced market, but that's going to buffer us against any kind of recessionary risk. So hopefully that kind of gives you a sense of where we stand. And again, for everybody who's been thinking, okay, we think there's a crash coming, hopefully that sheds some light that as a realtor, we're not really seeing that. We're not really seeing as much of the risk as there was 10 years ago. Again, we're in a unique situation. There's going to be a lot of volatility and change. So as I continue to get more information, I'm going to be passing it along to keep everybody as informed as possible. So in the meantime, hang tight, stay safe. And if you have any questions, I'll put my contact info up at the end. So feel free to reach out or check out my website, www.ehabsellsandiego.com. And hope to hear from you soon. All right, have a great day. Take care.